Hi guys, my name is Nick Broughton, and I'm a Randomfish. Hit that subscribe button and let's all be Randomfishes together, shall we? Oh boy. This is where it gets fun. Why do I say fun? Well, put very simply, I'm going to talk about something that kind of upsets / enrages a lot of people. And I'm not alone in thinking this, and you're not alone in thinking this, because I despise the films that I'm about to talk about. Very recently, I am doing the 30-day film challenge on Instagram, and the most recent one I had to do was one that, a film that disgusted me, displeased me, it was something like that. And I chose Beauty and the Beast from 2017, the live-action remake. And I went into this tirade about how it felt like an imperfect copy of the original. And on my Facebook profile, my personal profile, someone commented saying that it gave them more story, it gave them more reasons for why the characters were the way they were and everything else, and it made me very much want to make this video, because I want to put everything out there and I want to say this. If you like the remakes, perfectly fine, but you know what? To me, you are more the problem than Disney is. And I'm not saying this because I am never going to say that these films don't have good ideas, because they do. What annoys me, and more frantically what drives me to the point of almost insanity, is that these people take these concepts and do absolutely nothing with them. And I mean this 100%. Okay, the Disney remakes started not that long ago, and we've had, since its inception, the live-action remake Inception, if you will, we've had the existences of the Jungle Book remake, the Lion King remake, Dumbo remake, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, and most recently, at least on Disney Plus, though I haven't watched it yet because I don't have Disney Plus, Lady and the Tramp remake. Now, I'm going to put that to a side because, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I really don't have any frame of reference for it. I've watched a few of the Disney remakes. I have not seen Dumbo, mainly because I forgot to believe that Dumbo actually existed. So, my bad. I'm not in a position where I do not do this as a full-time job. This is me doing things for myself, and me doing it for the small amount of you that do watch these videos, even though there's very few of you. But the live-action Disney remakes have, as far as I'm concerned, a bunch of things wrong with them. And that is the main one, not going all the way with their ideas. In the Aladdin remake, for example, they give Jasmine and the Sultan not only more lines, but actually make them more intelligent, actually gives them some kind of political thing to work with, actually making Jasmine appear to be becoming more of a decent ruler throughout the film, which I love the idea of. The fact that, also, in Aladdin, in the end credits, flipping credits, there is a Bollywood dance number. Now, you have a Bollywood dance number in a Disney film. Yet somehow, you're trying to treat this Disney film like the original one. How were you going to do this? I want to go on a slight tangent here for a second, and I want to make something abundantly clear. Live action is not the problem. The problem is the source. There is a reason why it's called a remake. There has to be something that was made that you have to be remaking. And the thing that was made is animation. A place where I do mean anything is possible. In 2D animation, or hell, even in 3D animation, when it got decent anyway, you can... In animation, you can do anything. There are certain characters that you can emphasize things on. There's characters, emotions that you can heighten. There's the way a place looks or the way something is designed that automatically makes it large and bombastic and right in your face. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't say this as some kind of animation purist. I say it because, frankly, and in complete honesty, animation does well with stories, especially with fairy tales. It emphasizes what needs to be emphasized. Live action can be great for certain things. It's certainly done well with the Marvel films. They have translated great to live action in terms of that sort of world. Hell, without that we wouldn't have the MCU as we have it. That's just the way it is. But the problem with translating something from an animated format to a live action format is you have to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. And the Disney live action remakes don't know it. They don't know what their strengths are, and they definitely don't know what their weaknesses are, because if they do, then they wouldn't have made them in the first place. They wouldn't have allowed the weaknesses to seep through into the final product. In the Aladdin animated show, film, I should say, the show possibly as well, but I'm not sure. But definitely in the animated Aladdin film, One Jump, the song One Jump Ahead, brilliant. Because it was fast-paced, it was well-timed, the animation was brilliant, the song was well done, and everything else. In the live-action remake, it feels like an echo of all of that. And it feels like they're trying to use the animation as a template to try and copy that timing across into live action. No. Do what you did in the credits. Turn it into a Bollywood musical. That would have been genius. Turning that film into a Bollywood musical would be brilliant, because it would allow you then to ultimately have everything you wanted. You could have an original version of Aladdin done in live action. You can still have the live action remake. You can still have the CGI genie. You can still have all the original songs and everything else. But give it that uniqueness that separates it from the live action. Don't make it a remake. Make it a reimagining. And that's the other thing. They're remakes. And I know people hate to use the word reimagining because it was coined by Tim Burton and that stupid Planet of the Apes remake. But let's be honest. What would you prefer? Someone who reimagined the story or someone who just remade the story? Because I'll be honest, Disney's pulled a complete Gus Van Sant. For those of you who don't know, he remade Psycho, point for point, exactly the same film, shot for shot, the exact same film, but just done by him instead of by Hitchcock, which is weird. But Disney are doing the exact same thing, except they're taking the animation and they're trying to convert it to live action. Which is dumb. To go beyond Aladdin at this point, let's go to Beauty and the Beast, the film that I put up on my Instagram this morning. In Beauty and the Beast, you have the opening song, and all that sort of thing. And you have, again, in the animation, there's this tight timing with all these things. The way the characters react to Belle as she's walking through the town, and they do the whole, all that good stuff. All those amazing things, and they talk about, how strange she is, or how weird she is, and all this sort of thing. And it just doesn't work in live action because she's walking past it, but it looks duller. by the actual emphasis of the fact that it is live action and not animation, it looks duller. If you changed it up and had something different, like a different shot, or maybe a different way of staging the song, then maybe you could have gotten something through it, but you didn't. And you're not going to find it, because as far as Disney's concerned, all they want is to remake it exactly how it was, and then have all the people in the audience who enjoy Disney and who prefer to sleep in their nostalgic little bubble will sit there and go, yes! Yes! This is the Disney I remember! This is the live action stuff I love! Ah! Why can't we be more original with the ideas? I mean, it feels like imagination is dying. If not else, completely dead. At least in Disney's terms, anyway. But the real nail in the coffin is Lion King. My God, Lion King. It's longer than the original. It's weirder than the original. There's more focus on the mouse and the bugs than the original. They leave out scenes, bizarrely. They try and explain that Scar tried to take the throne once before from Mufasa. Buddy, there was already a pretty well-established... No, forget about that. There was once an established canon for how Scar got his scar, right? Back before, way back before, there was a book that was released that showed that Scar's original name was, I think, Taka. And he ended up getting scratched in the face or getting hit in the face or whatever it was by bison or something to that effect, or wildebeest, sorry, wildebeest. And he got that nickname from his brother or from his father. And it was sort of like this thing, like this constant sign of his failure to kill Mufasa because he wanted to get Daddy's attention. But in the remake, they try and establish this thing that Scar's tried to fight Mufasa for the throne before and lost. That's why it's there. And now Disney's even contradicted itself with the Lion Guard show, which, if you don't know, the animated show about Simba's second son. If you're wondering how that happened or what that is with canon, then I can't explain that right now. But there's a whole bit, or a whole song number, if you will, that the ghost of Scar tells all of his followers that he got his scar from an evil snake that belonged to this other evil lion that made Scar evil. That's why he wanted to kill Mufasa. And why? Okay, what is this obsession with trying to take legitimate evil and corrupt, someone or something? Like, you can't have someone go bad of their own accord. There always has to be something else that drives them. In the past, that was called clever storytelling or strong characterization. No. Now it's just, oh yes, evil snake bit my face, now I'm evil. Really? Has nothing to do with the fact that maybe you just wanted the throne for yourself, or maybe because you wanted your father's attention away from Mufasa, and so your resentment grew and grew and grew till even after the father's dead, you still hate Mufasa? Is that really so difficult? I don't think so. I just don't think so. These remakes are... I'm trying really hard to continue to emphasize that if you like the remakes, that's fine. If you like the remakes, you're fine. But please don't sit there and tell me that they're just as good, because they're not. If they could stand on their own 2 feet and have their own abilities and have their own identity as a film, I would understand your point, but they don't. They just don't. They are attempted copies and pastes of the animated film just put onto live action actors. And, do you know what? I actually want to say this. The actors in these films, I don't have a problem with them. I just don't. I have a problem with certain actors with a certain lack of ability, but that's more to do with the people who hired them. For example, the guy who plays Aladdin. Dude, you can't... If you can act, then you're hiding it pretty well. Or if you can sing. Actually, no, that's a bit too far. At this point in the game, I'm pretty sure they could have taken anyone, even if they couldn't sing, and stuck them on there and gone, we'll just auto-tune you to hell. And, I mean, I love Emma Watson. I think she's a brilliant actress in so many things, but in this, Beauty and the Beast was not a place to share her talent. It was not a place to hone out her talents. It just wasn't. She's not good. She's not fun. She's not interesting. She's not engaging as a character. None of it. It's just depressing. She is depressing as a character. And it makes me very, very concerned for the future of Disney. Because, is this what it's going to be now? Are you just going to take the tried and tested animation and put them through the live action, blender? And just pour out what you think is a glass of the exact same stuff, but it's not? Because clearly there's something in the glass or something that you've already had in the blender that you've mixed in there that's devalued everything. Just putting the animation and sticking it onto live action actors doesn't make it the same. It makes it worse. And I will never understand how there are people who can say that they're better. Because I just don't see what's better about taking what's already timeless and trying to, by trying to explain it, you make it less. In Beauty and the Beast, okay? You know what? I'm going to follow up on that comment that was given to me on my profile, actually. Right. You get backstories on things like Belle's mum or the prince's dad being a bit of a pain in the arse. Two things. Number one, Belle's mother's identity was never a point in the film, at least not one that I ever saw. Not because maybe because other people value that setup a bit more, I don't know. But to me, Belle's mum would have always been an amazing woman. She would always have been exactly like Belle, which I think is exactly why her father, adores her so much, or just, the fact that he's so, he's not telling her to leave or get married to someone like Gaston or whatever, because he knows that she is exactly like her mother. By that same token, he knows that she doesn't just deserve to go with just anybody like Gaston. He wants her to find someone who's perfect for her, and she does. She finds it in the Beast. In the Beast's father being a bit of a pain in the arse, I'm sorry, in the film, Lumiere tells them that they've been cursed for over 10 years. The boy was 11 when the Enchantress came knocking. 11. So, two things. Number one, if his parents were nice people, they would have been the ones to answer the door, not the prince. Because I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have done that in any way, shape or form. But then we also get the incredibly dumb thing that even if they had been home and they hadn't answered the door, I'm sorry, but when the boy got turned into a beast, he ripped up everything in the castle. And there's no showing of him anywhere in the entire setup. If there is, right, the painting in the West Wing, the one that he rips through in the intro, right? I'm talking about the animated film here. The one that he rips through when he growls off during the end of the narration at the beginning, right? It looks exactly like he does at the end of the film. Bear in mind that he's 21 by the end of the film, but he's 11 at the beginning of it. He's 11 when he gets cursed. So how then, at any point in time, did that painting ever work? Was the painting the one of his father? Does he look exactly like his father? Because if so, that could almost indicate that maybe he killed his parents because of how evil they were, because of how mean they were, or whatever. I don't know. But the biggest nail in the coffin that I can think of is one that wasn't mentioned, but I'm going to bring up. They explain why no one remembers them. Okay? They explain why nobody remembers about the castle or the prince or the servants who worked there or anything like that. You have essentially split up families, married couples, people who quite possibly love each other to the very depth of their souls for 10 years. And the prince was 11. These guys weren't. These guys were well past either their 20s, maybe their 30s, maybe their 40s, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that the Enchantress, by that logic, then took 10 years away from these people and erased the memories of everyone else around them. That doesn't make the film better, it turns the Enchantress into a flippin' psychopath. It makes her worse, not better. You know what? You know what? I've rambled. I'm rambling. I will continue to ramble because these films do not make sense. You know what? I'm gonna put it out to you guys. You guys out there in the real world, tweet me at the Randomfish. Again, I'll leave my link to my Twitter account maybe down below, or again, if you go into my channel, you'll actually see it in the top right-hand corner. But you know what? People, tell me your least favourite of the live-action remakes. Tell me the reason why you maybe dislike them, or tell me why you like them. Because you know what? I would actually enjoy the idea of it. I'd enjoy the idea of actually finding out why people can stand this thing. Because honestly, I don't see how you can. I just don't. And with that being said, you know what? When you wish upon a star, wish for a more original movie. And you know what? I'm talking to you, Disney. Yeah. I'm talking to you. Randomfish out.